Suji returned home and her grandmother hadn't gone to sleep yet. Shuji told her that if she wanted roasted sweet potatoes, she should say so earlier next time. Not every time would there be a kind stranger willing to help roast them. Chai Yingying came over to see Shuji and asked how things were going. Shuji said she hadn't met Chen Luzhou's mother. They didn't live together. Shuji suspected Chen Luzhou might be adopted because she had heard his mother say when he first came to their home that if he were her biological child, she wouldn't have said that. Chai Yingying thought maybe Shuji was overthinking it, but Shuji pointed out that everything Chen Luzhou owned had his name written on it. That could either mean he was too narcissistic or that he had lived in a communal environment before, so he had to label everything. Chai Yingying asked how Shuji planned to meet Chen Luzhou's mother. Shuji said she hadn't even added him on WeChat yet. Shuji's mother had died in a car accident a few years ago, and she still didn't know why that voice sounded so familiar. Shuji's father said that since Shuji had finished her exams, she should go out and have some fun. Shuji replied that going out costs money, and what kind of family background did they even have? Chai Yingying came to Shuji and said a few words, and Shuji said she would go out with her for 2 days. Chen Xingqi came to find Chen Luzhou, saying they wanted to go on a summer trip, but they needed an adult to come along, so he asked Chen Luzhou to join. Chen Luzhou said it would be 800 yuan per day, and with Zhu Yangqi, it would be another 500. Chen Xingqi agreed. As they were heading out, they ran into Tanshu. Chen Luzhou avoided him. Zhu Yangqi asked what was on Chen Luzhou's mind. Just now, he looked like a mistress seeing the main partner. Chen Luzhou said he just didn't want any direct conflict. Zhu Yangqi told Chen Luzhou that Shuji's boyfriend wasn't simple. He had claimed to have depression and that a classmate had been bullying him, even showed a medical report and got the classmate expelled. But in fact, the report was fake. Chen Luzhou asked how Zhu Yangqi knew that. Zhu Yangqi said he knew someone who had helped that classmate, and that's what the classmate told him. Chen Xingqi went to the shop owner and said their water tasted awful. He wanted purified water. The shop owner said it was mountain spring water and that purified water wasn't available there. Shuji's father was a good friend of the shop owner, and Shuji and Chai Yingying had come to this place for fun, where they saw Chen Luzhou. Shuji asked Chen Luzhou where his parents were. Chen Luzhou said they hadn't come. At that time, Chai Yingying asked Zhu Yangqi about it, and he had said that Chen Luzhou would bring family. Shuji hadn't expected that family referred to Chen Luzhou's younger brother. Chen Xingqi refused to drink the mountain spring water and insisted that Chen Luzhou go down the mountain to buy some. Chen Luzhou told Zhu Yangqi to message Chai Yingying and ask her and Shuji to help borrow a car. Shuji went down the mountain with Chen Luzhou. She said her phone was out of battery and borrowed a charger from him. Chen Luzhou handed her his phone and asked her to help open the navigation. The password was 4 ones. Shuji asked why he didn't use his birthday as the password. Chen Luzhou replied that it was his birthday. Shuji started talking about a movie, saying she really liked its symbolism. Chen Luzhou said that was later debunked. The flower pot in the movie was just a prop. When they got to the bottom of the mountain, Chen Xingqi called Chen Luzhou, saying the food there was terrible, and asked him to bring a dry pot bullfrog dish. Chen Luzhou refused unless they added more money. Shuji overheard and said there was a restaurant right there that sold it. It wouldn't be much trouble to grab a portion. Tanshu happened to be there too, and Shuji said she would go over for a moment. Tanshu asked what Shuji meant now. Weren't they from different worlds? Shuji said they were never really together. Tanshu asked what that meant. Was it because he was repeating a year, or because Shuji had found someone better? Hadn't their relationship always been a silent mutual understanding? Shuji said that Tanshu didn't have depression at all and asked if he dared admit it. He was always trying to control her. Shuji came back and Chen Luzhou asked what had happened. Shuji said she had threatened Tanshu and told him not to follow her anymore. Shuji said she wanted to add Chen Luzhou on WeChat, and if there were any money-making opportunities in the future, they could do them together. Chen Luzhou agreed. Shuji showed Chen Luzhou's WeChat to Chai Yingying. Chai Yingying said she would make a group chat. If they talked one-on-one, it would be awkward. But in a group chat, someone would always keep the conversation going. The next day, Zhu Yangqi realized his charger was missing and asked Chen Luzhou to lend him one. Chen Luzhou said he had already lent his charger to Shuji. Zhu Yangqi said it was urgent and asked him to get it back.